Hello, how are you guys? So, in the last video, we talked about a little build that I did. Let's see if we can see it from here. Yep, there is that little build over there with the water towers. Now, let's show you another build that I built. So, because of that whole concept of the towers, the circular, like I was just starting Minecraft out in like on a first server, which was which a big server actually for the KCH. Aside from like a server that I used to play on with friends and stuff, that was like a non what you call it server, friends and family server type of things. So I built those towers. I was obsessed with trying to get some round stuff. Those ones are built later on, so that's another thing. But I built something nice and round and like building circular things in a game. Wow. But then yeah, and then so then I was like, okay, let's see what else I can build. So then I started building this island. So here is the island. This is how the island looks like. So you see the shape. You see the shape goes like a Y. Things exactly like yeah. So at the time I was using my mobile, and then I got this the general shape of a picture of how they say island should think, and I imported it into the world. Same with so I imported this picture. I imported this picture here. I imported these two swords. I imported this block, and then I imported this picture right here. This picture over here, as you can see, this tower design is what inspired me to build this tower design over here. So this is the picture I used to import. So the main thing, I didn't care about the surroundings. Obviously I'm not that good with stuff like that, but the whole thing was like that shape was like an oval shape, and then the floating part on the top. Like mine, I capped it off differently, but yeah, basically that I like that design. This is like a white tower. I didn't want to build a white tower because of the tower I built up here. These white towers, like I know how hard it is to collect a whole lot of things without having a watering farm, and I'm not going to be mining in the nether for hours and hours and hours just to get that. And also just like I never knew really about watering farms at that stage. 1.16 just came out. This is like literally started playing on the other world, and then like I know about iron farms. Iron farms was my was what I always built. But anyways, let's show you what's happening. So what's my whole design of towers is what I got obsession with building different types of towers and stuff. So you build the towers, you build that V type shape, or that it's a V basically, and then you just connect the blocks to the middle, and then you fill it in. All these floating islands are completely hollow inside. This one I lit up. This one has the water feature coming inside to give it that different things. Like you can obviously do different type of water and so on, all kinds of different things like that. But yeah, and then I built the tower, and then I was like, okay, I need to build a chain. And then yeah, I found this chain design on YouTube. I really am sorry to anybody, and I'm not trying to steal this person's limelight or anything, but the original creator of this chain design, I really cannot find him anymore. I tried my best to search for the YouTube video years ago, so I'm not taking credit for these chains, and these chains were definitely not designed by me. These ones are a YouTube tutorial from like years ago when I started playing, and that's what when 1.16 came out, and I've always used the same chain design. And I was trying to play around with different chain. I was trying to build my own chain designs. I had like a whole lot of chains built here, and then I was like, nah. This is one where I removed the top corners to make it look more rounded, but then I was like, no, it's not going to work for what I wanted. So then I stick with the square shaped one. That's the one that you see on the build right here. You see? So it's nice and sting. And I built this on a survival world, and then I've added extra blackstone here, just plain blackstone. I don't even know if I'll be able to find Blackstone. It should be, yep, there it is. Not this Blackstone, anyways. Okay, that's not important, right? Anyways, and then I just added that as a texture on the floor. But yeah, that was the chain design. So it makes like the thing, and on the other world I added I think 6 or 7 chains on the survival world, and the island's a little bit bigger too. And then the waterfall is supposed to be like a river. Like my thought of this thing is like water flowing through, and then obviously gets cut off from a river, which I did in the survival world, and then it's like the water's flowing into the river because the floating island got picked up where the river was supposed to cross and stuff like that. That's my thought about this water flowing through here. Yeah, and then I was like trying to see of ways, like thinking of ways to make it incorporate into the build, and then like the water's flowing through from the other side to this side, something like that. But yeah, and then so this is the design. I made it like it's lights on the top. So I wanted to use cobblestone. I never used cobblestone in the build, so that's why I added cobblestone on the top, and then I added the basalt. This was also my first time using basalt, and then I added the blackstone because of the 1.16 came out. So like these are brand new blocks basically at that stage. And then this was like to break the two apart. It was a very bad idea because then zombies and stuff kept falling. But yeah, I don't think I put these in the survival world. Can't remember. I haven't been on KCH for such a long time. Oh, the torches is just me counting blocks when I was rebuilding it. Yeah. So this is the tower design. If you go into it, wrong side. If you go into this build like this, so and then I was trying to come up with an elevator design. This is me counting. So on the inside of the other one, I used endstone because I wanted to use something different I've never used before. I don't want to use blackstone, so much blackstone. So instead of using blackstone in the inside, on the one on survival world I used endstone, which just makes it look more brighter in the inside. And then I have like a lava lamp. I'll show you guys one day if this video ever gets out there. Woo! The sea lanterns is just here to light it up when I put my world from peaceful. Currently right now all mobs have turned off. I don't think it's on peaceful actually. I think it's more on, let's check. It's creative hard mode. It is on hard mode, but I just switched off mob spawning. But anyways, yeah, this is the different type of, I was trying to get different type of elevators to try and see how I'm going to get from the one level to the next level. So I kept making the bubble columns because at that stage is the only thing I knew about. But then on the survival world, I made like a stairway that goes around to the second floor, and then it goes around to the third floor. I made it 3 stairs, and then on this my armor stands this thing. I'll show you guys one day. But the size of this one is the exact same size of the one on the survival world, which is nice. On the survival, on this one I built I tried building trees. I don't like these trees so much, but it was also my first time trying to build custom trees. Well, not my first time. I did try building other ones in between. Okay, that was not that one. But yeah, I tried building custom trees or type of custom tree. Like this is a thick boy, you know, thick boy. And just like letting the roots hang through the thing, and then the chains getting connected. You see, like even the roots are going into it. Something that's like my thoughts. But yeah. But there's that one. But yeah, the island on the survival world is much bigger. And I also have like many islands around it, floating around it. But obviously it changes, everything changes. Another thought, my process I try to have was like to connect this 2 places together. So like I was thinking about maybe putting like a small elevator, water elevator just to go through here and just to get into this spot. But I never used this spot in the other world. And I also wanted to use direct. So I was trying to use blocks that other people generally don't use. Hey, there's a chicken. And yeah, and then the roof. Obviously, it's my first time actually building a roof and it was hard, but it was also not that bad. It turned out very nicely. The one on the wall looks differently also, because like this one in itself took me a long time to build. I like the build, but it's not like it's a very textured build. So I added 3 different colors, and I was like, oh, so nice and texture. Or a lot of that was my idea of texturing, you know, texture. 3 different blocks is gonna look different, and also I use blocks that are so I didn't want to use, like, instead of using, I could have maybe used stone on top there, but I didn't want to use it because it's smooth versus this thing. So all these blocks, you see all 3 of them. That's why I decided to opt in for turning it this way instead of having it the smooth side facing forward. So I made sure every single block is facing outwards like that. And the one I built on the survival. So it's like, just so it looks like it's a rough texture on the outside. I keep saying texture, but I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, that's the floating island build. This is the one I built, and then I copied it again because I didn't want to. I was doing edits on it. I think it's somewhere over here. I know it's further back. This is the, okay, I don't know. Let's quickly. Let's up our distance. See if we can see it there. No, this is the island I took from. There is the copy one. So I was thinking of trying to add like like a tower on the side of this one. So I copied the main one and then I brought it over using structure blocks just to try and add like a extra room visit tower type thing, you know, coming from the edge. And then I never did. Oh, it's lagging a lot. But then I just decided, no, let me rather not do that. Go down to 10 chunks, thank you. And then yeah, then I just decided, nope. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep the plain tower as is. Yeah, and then these like little things on the front here, I was trying different type of building things, you know, but I never worked out very well. As you can see, the structure block, you can see the whole build from the inside, which is a nice thing about I like using structure blocks in Bedrock and all that. In Bedrock Edition is my main world I play on. I have been playing some Java recently, but not as much as Bedrock. This one is a build I built in survival on another server, on another realm, and then I just copied this thing. It's a different type of one I built. It's a bigger island. I just brought it here just in case I ever want to edit or play around with it. That's why there's a beacon. On the survival world, there's a beacon there. I actually had a portal, a big huge portal just for fun in the middle of it. But yeah, it never came into fruition, never done anything with that build. But yeah, this is basically the tower build. This is my first, this floating island base is my first big base that I ever built. Aside from that white one that never went out of creative mode. Yeah, you can see I was busy testing a bigger size for a tower. I was trying to make it bigger because the other island's bigger. So I was just testing its different size, but I never moved away from here to. Yeah, I really love this tower design on the survival world. It's got multiple floating islands, which is never completed either. I just left it as is. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you very much.